So, good morning YouTube, Sean Forney here, another Raptor video, and I've been getting some questions from a lot of my friends. They've been asking me, they all know I'm a gearhead, so it's kind of hard for them. It's hard for somebody who's not a gearhead to understand why a gearhead spends this much money on a vehicle. So I'm going to answer their question on why a Raptor. Okay, unlike most people, when they go out to buy vehicles, I've always had a knack for stuff that's more on the rare side and stuff that's going to retain as much value as possible, right? You know, try to make, I look at cars as much as an investment as I do on flipping a piece of property. So whenever I go out there to buy a vehicle, I'm looking for something that has that rare factor, like the GT350, or my BMW M3 was a 2011 sedan E90 competition package M3 without a sunroof. It was one of like 30 in the country. So I knew I could buy it, put 20,000 miles on it, and sell it for more than what I paid for it. I flew all the way from Houston, Texas, from West Virginia to buy that particular car. So back to the question, why a Raptor? So, before I bought this Raptor, back, I guess it was probably like August 2nd, I bought a 2017 Super Duty. I do have me and my wife have some farm property where we're building our new house, and I farm it myself. I make my hay, and we're gonna have horses and cows. So I was like, you know what, the Super Duty seems like a good fit, right? Big old diesel truck, farm, So after daily driving that truck, it was just too big, okay? Before that, I traded in my 2015 F150 Platinum EcoBoost crew cab, or Super Crew. Absolutely love that truck. Probably one of my favorite trucks I've ever had, and I've had a ton of them, okay? So what is a perfect middle ground between that and that? Between the 2017 Super Duty, the 2015 F150 Platinum, well, ironically enough, it's a Raptor. So the reason that I actually wound up setting on the Raptor was I do more research than the average Joe, and anybody that buys a Raptor is very similar to me in that sense. There's some people that go out there and have no idea have anything about cars, but they'll go out there and spend the money on a Raptor, okay? But I'd say 95% of Raptor buyers know what they're buying. They know what they're getting, okay? So what kind of sealed the deal for me on the Raptors is go on Auto Trader, go on Kelley Blue Book. If you have access to Manheim Market Report, Manheim's the largest auto auction group in the country. They sell hundreds of thousands of cars a week through their auctions. If you have access through a dealer buddy like I do, hop on Manheim, pull up the auto auction reports for a 2017 Super Duty, 2016 Super Duty, do the same things for the Ford F150, then do the same things for the Raptor, okay? You'll notice that the Raptor holds their value much more, obviously, for a few reasons. The rarity, the fact that some dealers add an addendum or a markup over sticker, there's several different reasons that the Raptors hold their values. But if you look at a 2014 F150 Raptor right now, so whenever I bought my brand new F150 Raptor from Hagerstown Ford in Hagerstown, Maryland, great guys there. They had a 2014 F150 Raptor with like 40,000 miles on it that they were asking $50,000 for. Really? $50,000 for a 2014 Raptor. And you know what? They're going to get it. Why? Because somebody's willing to pay for that. Okay, so that just goes to show you. So whenever I traded in my 2015 F150 Platinum, originally a $68,000 truck, brand new, had 43,000 miles on it, I got $42,000, which was a real strong trade-in price. I mean, Hagerstown Ford definitely stepped up and gave me that, you know, gave me all the money that they could on that. So, I mean, it comes down to a lot of things. The reason, you know, again, I kind of lost my rear end, not much. I lost like $4,000 when I traded in my Super Duty, but I just wasn't happy with it. And I'm a big, firm believer on don't drive it if you're not happy. You know, get into something that you enjoy driving. And me being a gearhead through and through, you know, I love daily driving my trucks because, you know, I've always said you don't know how much you need a truck until you don't have a truck after you've had one. So if you've always driven a car, you're never going to understand. But if you have a truck and you drive the trucks and then you get rid of a truck and don't have one for a little while, then you realize how important having a truck is. And you know, look, I got my kid seats in the back. I have 2 kids and another baby on the way, so this is the daddy mobile sometimes. But you know, again, you know, I think the most important, you know, to answer everybody's questions, why does someone buy a Raptor? Well, one, because of the obvious, it's freaking amazing. You get a ton of power, you get the suspension that is, I mean, freaking fantastic. You get, I mean, Ford, after the recession in 2008, realized that the writing was on the wall if they didn't step up their game, and Ford has grown leaps and bounds. If you haven't gone and driven a Chevy or GM product, I would encourage you to do so. They are absolutely subpar. Toyota, all their interior is subpar to what Ford has done in all their products. You know, there's lots of reasons. Again, the engine and the EcoBoost engine, I'm a huge fan of. I've pulled a lot of weight with the EcoBoost engines. I pulled my farm tractor around, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's like 8,000 pounds, which is perfect because that's the towing capacity of the 2018 Super Crew Raptor. But I pull my tractor around with the EcoBoost, and you know, it does just fine. That's about the heaviest thing I pull. You know, my baler and stuff like that don't weigh quite as much. So the F-150 altogether is an amazing truck. The F-150 Raptor, I mean, if you're on the fence between a Super Duty, if you don't necessarily need that extra, you know, 8,000 pounds of towing capacity, if you're on the fence between an F-150 Platinum or one of the higher, more expensive Lariats, or a base model versus a base model Raptor. Now, I'm not talking like the 2-wheel drive, roll-up window, vinyl floor, 6-cylinder. I'm talking like an XLT power options, you know, that's still going to be running you $38,000 or whatever. Get a Raptor. Do yourself a favor. If you're not using it as a work truck, get a Raptor. You'll thank me later because the retained values on Raptors are that much more, and they really are that much more. Again, do yourself a favor, go to Auto Trader and look how much 2014 Raptors are selling for, even with 50 or 60,000 miles on them. So I think you'd make a good decision. Now, again, if you buy one brand new, you're going to lose some money. Unless I decided to sell this thing right now, I'd probably make a little money on it because I didn't pay anything over MSRP. I didn't pay an addendum. Why? Because I refused to pay a dealer more than what Ford says it's worth. I'm going to do a video on how to get a Raptor and how to get a GT350 at MSRP, because that's what I did. Even I got a slight discount, which you can do that with getting them to give you more money for your trade or whatever. I have a lot of experience buying vehicles. I buy at least 1 or 2 a year. It's one of my all-time favorite things to do in the whole entire world. All of my friends come to me to negotiate car deals for them. But again, why buy a Raptor? 1, because it holds, they retain their value. 2, because they're freaking amazing. They drive fantastic. They handle great. They got plenty of power. And again, the big thing for me was somebody that puts a lot of miles on their vehicles like I do. You know, something you want to drive whatever retains their value the most. The fact that my F-250 depreciated in value like $8,000 in a month with only 3,000 miles on it goes to show you. I mean, those things drop like rocks to a bottom of a pond. I mean, within the first 5 months, you can almost guarantee you're losing 20% value on something like that. And it doesn't help that if you buy a Ford F150 or a Ford F250 Super Duty, you are at the mercy of the manufacturer for however many rebates they want to apply to that vehicle too, or if they throw 0% financing out there. All that stuff affects the trade-in value of your vehicles whenever you go to get rid of them. If Ford gets froggy at the year-end clearance and says, hey, we're going to put $5,000 in rebates, well, your truck essentially just became $5,000 cheaper. With a Raptor, you don't have to worry about that. They don't put rebates on Raptors. They don't do any kind of fancy financing deals on Raptors, okay? So all of those reasons, that's why you buy a Raptor. You buy a Raptor, well, most people buy it, they're not too worried about what they're getting on their trade-in, but if you're someone that's on the fence, or if you're someone that's curious between, hey, should I get an F-150 Platinum or FX4 Lariat or an F-250, get a Raptor. Do yourself a favor, you won't regret it. I should have bought, after driving this thing for a week so far, I should have bought my Raptor first. I would have been much more happy from day one, but I just wasn't even thinking about it at the time because I told my brother and all my friends, I said, you know, the Raptor's just, it's overkill. It's unnecessary. It's uneconomical. But the new ones, this thing actually gets about the same fuel economy as my 2015 F150 Platinum and my 2017 Super Duty. So they kind of fixed that a little bit. Again, doesn't have the V8 sound, but still you get a little bit better of a ride. But I mean, you will be much more satisfied with your decision if you buy a Raptor. I wish I would have done it first, and I'm telling you, if you are on the fence between an F-150 or a Dodge Rebel, or do yourself a favor and go drive a Raptor. Go drive a Raptor, because every single person that's ridden with me, and again, I've only put 289.7 miles on it, but every person that's ridden with me, their jaw drops the whole entire time, because this truck is amazing. It is one of the most impressive trucks. I've driven a lot of trucks. I've driven a lot of cars. I worked valet parking when I was in college just so I could drive a lot of cars. Do yourself a favor, go drive one. That'll make up your decision. If that doesn't cut it enough, pull up the retail values and private party values of what people were asking for 2014, 13 Raptors. That will help secure your decision. So do yourself a favor, do some research, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be trying to think up more videos and all that good stuff. If you have a recommendation for me to make a video, please let me know. I want to do my best to get out there. I'm a gearhead. I understand cars. I work on cars. I like to think that I know a lot about them, so I just want to share everything with everybody that I've gathered over the years. Stay tuned for my first week overall, what I think about the Raptor after 1 week of ownership, and then also stay tuned to how to get a Raptor, how to get a GT350 at MSRP. If you're one of those people that feel like you need to pay the $10,000 or $5,000 or sometimes $15,000 addendums that the dealers are charging, with the exception of a GT350R, I think that everybody should be able to get one at sticker. So subscribe to my channel, follow me to to get some good information. If you have anything or any questions you want to answer or anything on the car that you want to see, leave a note or leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll get it in my next video. Thank you guys. Have a fantastic day and a great week. Sean Forney signing off.